My friend Joe List he's a pretty political guy, and he always says he's a 90s liberal because he's like, I don't understand what's happening with the left. And he's like, I'm still a liberal, but I'm like old school. I like free speech. I like, gay marriage and weed and a little less government and a little more help the people and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I am. But it's almost become an insult to be like, oh, you're one of these right-wing guys. Like, it's kind of like we do with racists. Right. Like, oh, you're a racist. Like, wait, what? What are you, crazy? Like, back in the 90s, you call somebody a racist, it was like, did he kill a black guy? What happened? Is he like this or that? And now it's like, racist, let me read the article. Like they're completely taking the teeth out of that word, and that's an important word. So it's
and look at what they tried to do to Rogan as well. It's like he has some conversations with people. He wants to know about the vaccine, whatever. He's anti-vax. He's far right.
Yeah,
he's this, and it's like.
And then he's like, I voted for Bernie Sanders. I'm this and that. And they're like, whatever. You're far right. And you're like, well, if we're not going to listen, this is scary.
Yeah.
Like Bill Burr. I keep bringing up Bill Burr, but I'm a fan. But he did a Grammy award show, and he introduced a Latin artist, and the name was all super Latin-y, and he fucked it up, and he's not a good reader.
I can't say this name. Natalie what? All right. And the winner, the Grammy goes to Natalia Lafourcade. Oh, please. Dude, I will accept on behalf of her. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry.
And they're like, these white men with the racist, mispronouncing the name, and one guy goes, he's not a racist. And they go, fuck you, he's racist. He goes, well, his wife's black. And the guy wrote back like, well, some people marry black women for a fetish, and his wife eventually wrote back and wrote, shut up, bitch. And it was this black woman had to be like, shut the fuck up. What are you doing? And that's what we've gotten. We can't even, no one can go, good point, you got me there. That's out. So if discussion is out, we're really doomed. Yeah. And I think that's what's happening. It's just about win, win, win.
You know that point you made about him not being a good reader is such a good point because I have a foreign name, right? Konstantin Kisin. It's difficult for people in the UK to pronounce. And a lot of these idiots who run around saying, well, if you can't pronounce someone's name, you're a racist, right? What happened one time, one of these guys, they'd just been making that argument on the show, and then they brought up an article that I'd written, and he'd completely butchered my name.
There you go. And you could have used that. You could have gone, hey, this is my chance.
Yeah, and I just want you got my name wrong. It's okay. It happens, right? But these tools, these standards of like perfection now. It's like, this is the thing that always bothered me with comedy is like part of the process of discovering what an offensive joke has to be like is going too far and then pulling back, right?
Yes.
You try it out, it maybe goes a bit far, you rephrase it, you reword it. But if every time now that joke gets recorded and put on the internet, that changes the way that the whole thing happens, right?
Of course, and isn't that the most polite way to do it? Let me go to a comedy club, see where the line is, and then I will now course correct and not go there again. Or go over it again.
Yeah.
And then now I have the bit down. Now I got it. But you're just getting mad at the part where you went over to figure out where it's at. Yeah. And now you're mad at me for trying to do the right thing in a weird way.
Yeah.
So
Chris Rock made that point a few years ago where he was talking about when he created, when he was fine-tuning the routine, black people versus the N-word. And he said, when I first started doing it, it was just outright racist almost. And then it took me 6 months before I could make that bit funny. But just imagine we're in a place, let's call it 2022, where you do that routine, someone records it, puts it out on the internet and goes, Chris Rock is, punching down, etc. Yeah, exactly. We never get to see that bit. And that bit, you could argue legitimately changed comedy.
It's an iconic bit. I think about that joke twice a day. I like the N-word. But yeah, that's an amazing bit, and thank God he worked it out, and thank God it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
No phones.
So we talked about this stuff a lot. Other than that, I mean, you've been going a long time, 16 years. Like, what else has changed in the comedy world? What do you notice?
Well, one thing I noticed was in New York. New York was like this bastion of, it was like a thriving comedy scene. And when I moved here,